Oh, is the countdown over? It is. It doesn't make much noise. I'm used to the song, so let's share this to a few other places here. And suddenly we are getting wind. Everyone knows it's windy. All right. Okay, not sure why I was muted. Checking. Okay, just making sure. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. It's good to see you. Good to see you. I might be stopping the Daily Trudge. I just don't feel like it's having the impact it needs to. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to, but so yeah, you should be able to hear me now. Yeah, I saw the red. Weird things have been happening. Restream and Facebook aren't getting along, and since they aren't getting along, Facebook doesn't cooperate with anybody. So let's do some introductions. My name is Dion. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. I'm going to be your host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. We're going to go to working with others. In the 12 by 12. No, in the big book. But that's because I was just thinking maybe I should read it out of the 12 by 12 because we always read it out of that. Let's kind of do both. All right. The joy of living is the theme of AA's 12th step, and action is its key word. Here we turn outward toward our fellow alcoholics who are still in distress. Here we experience the kind of giving that asks no rewards. Here we begin to practice all 12 steps of the program in our daily lives so that we and those about us may find emotional sobriety. When the 12th step is seen in its full implication, it is really talking about the kind of love that has no price tag on it. And we talk about this a lot, which is unconditional love. Right? Letting people be who they are. Loving them for who they are. You know, I was talking, there's somebody that said, I drink here and there, so I don't always feel like I'm a part of what it is that you do. And I told him, I said, you know what? I don't care, dude. You know what? He's made progress. He saw that maybe he was drinking a little too much and he's doing something about it. Oh yeah. I love him for who he is. And that's exactly what I told him. I love you for who you are, man. Not what I think you should be. No. Nah, I got to pass that stuff. I don't want power over anybody. I don't want control over anybody. All right. Our 12th step also says that as a result of practicing all the steps, we have found something called a spiritual awakening. To AAs, this often seems like to new AAs, this often seems like a very dubious and probable state of affairs. What do you mean when you talk about a spiritual awakening? They ask. You start to see the truth. You start to see life for what it is. You really do. And you see the warring factions and you see these things. But now that you're a person of action, we've got to do something about this. We've got to do something about this. And okay, maybe there are as many definitions of a spiritual awakening as there are people who have had them. Yeah. See, it's personal, man. As far as I can go, as the best I could describe it is indescribably wonderful. But certainly each genuine one has something in common with all the others. And these things which they have in common are not too hard to understand. When a man or a woman has a spiritual awakening, the most important meaning of it is that he has now become able to do, feel, and believe which he could not do before on his unaided strength and resources alone. It's one of the promises. You will suddenly realize that God is doing for you what you could not do for yourself. Not just the addiction, but my life, my whole life, man. My whole life. He has been granted a gift which amounts to a new state of consciousness and being. He has been set on a path which tells him he is really going somewhere, that life is not a dead end, not something to be endured or mastered. In a very real sense, he has been transformed because he has laid hold a source of strength which, in one way or another, he had hitherto denied himself. I was the only person denying me being closer to God. I was the only person doing it. So what was standing in between me and the sunlight of the Spirit? Me. And I had to get out of the way. I had to get out of the way and say, God, it's yours, man. It's clear. I'm not handling this okay. Can you please take this over? I need the help. Now, he did not solve my problems. No. But what he did do was give me the courage, the strength, and the tools, the people that I needed to solve my problems. That is much better. God doesn't solve my problems. He gives me the direction in order to which to solve them. I have to ask for help. God, I'm going through something. Can I get some help with it? He finds himself in possession of a degree of honesty, tolerance, unselfishness, peace of mind, and love of which he thought himself quite incapable. What he has received is a free gift. A free gift. And yet, usually, at least in some small part, he has made himself ready to receive it. AA's manner of making ready to receive this gift lies in the practice of the 12 steps in our program. So let's consider briefly. I'm not going to, that's a very long one. Right there. All right. Here's a good part. On page 111 in the 12 by 12, we often pass through 12-step experiences where we seem to be temporarily off the beam. These will appear as big setbacks at the time, what will be seen later as stepping stones to better things. I'm going to give you a great example beyond Mr. Example, my PTSD. It set me back. It was a huge setback for me. It hurt. It hurt because I was making progress and then bam, gone. Just gone. Okay. But I found that these were stepping stones to what God was going to be leading me to, which I'm now finding out. You don't find these things out till later. No. For example, we may set our hearts on getting a particular person sobered up, and after doing all we can for months, we see him relapse. Perhaps this will happen in succession of cases, and we may be deeply discouraged to our as to our ability to carry AA's message. It can be hard sometimes. You know, it wasn't until a couple of years ago that I actually successfully finally took somebody through the 12 steps. I've been around a long time. Is that on me? No. I can't make decisions for other people. I can't do that. Okay. Am I going to be hurt? No. Mm-mm. Why would I be hurt? Am I going to be disappointed? No. Why would I be disappointed in somebody else relapsing? I'm not going to be disappointed in them. You know what I'm going to give? Ingrid probably knows what I'm going to give. Respect. You had a relapse and you came back. I know how fucking hard that is. Great job. Good job. See, people need to feel welcome. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. He's helped me out at church, and he had that starry-eyed look. I knew he was in recovery. We were talking a little bit. You know, my AA meeting didn't happen, but we were talking about AA and stuff. And he said, well, AA wasn't really for me. And I'm like, hey, there's plenty of pathways, you know, and I'm for them all. And he said, well, it's because I smoke marijuana every now and again. And I said, I'm here. I'm an alcoholic. I don't care about your weed. No, you're still more than welcome. See, it is not up to me to decide whether somebody is sober or not. I do not. It is not up to me. I deal with alcoholics. I don't know about drug addiction. I don't. And I'm gonna tell you my feelings on marijuana. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I don't. Okay. No, Dare even rescheduled it. They're not even on their list of gateway drugs anymore. Okay. So just like everything else used appropriately, it's good, but that's as far as I'll go on it. Okay. What I'm saying there is, hey bud, just because you smoke a little ganja every now and again doesn't mean you're not allowed at AA meetings. Thank you, Ingrid. That's what I was going for. Thank you. Singleness of purpose. Stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. Okay? I'm not a weed expert. Heck, they probably don't even call it weed anymore. Yeah, they did. No, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Or we may encounter the reverse situation, in which we are highly elated because we seem to have been successful. Here, the temptation is to become rather possessive of the newcomers. Perhaps we try to give them advice about their affairs, which we aren't really competent to give or ought not to give at all. Ganja. Perhaps we give them advice about their affairs. Do not give advice. I do not give advice. Now, if a sponsee is in a relationship and it's not going well, I'm not going to say much about it. I will talk about the alcoholic and his side, but I will not talk about the other side. I don't know this person. And if you continue to bitch at me about them, oh, is it? Nice. Then we are hurt and confused when the advice is rejected or when it's accepted and brings still greater confusion. By a great deal. Okay, I'm going to tell you what it is. Keep it simple. Okay? A guide. That is all I am. A guide. Okay? Just like if you went to, let's say you went to botanical gardens and you paid for a guide. Well, I would be that guy saying, this is over here, that's over there. I'd give you interesting facts about things, the knowledge that I have, and I would pass on my experience, and then they go home. I do not become friends with my sponsees. I never have. Are we friendly? You bet. Do I become friends with you later on? Sure. But while we're working those steps, no, I'm sorry. We're not going out. We're not going out, sir. We're not doing that. I've got to keep it separate for a little bit because I want you to have the best chance that you can at this. Okay? And for me to use my newcomer to make me feel better is definitely not emotional sobriety, is it? Okay? I just saw somebody bragging, oh, they got me into a detox. I get people in detox every fucking day. I'll brag about it. So what? I do it all the time. Right? Yeah, I'm not like, I don't have like certificates and everything, but I can do an intervention. I do interventions all the fucking time. I intervene and advocate all the time. Right? What am I doing? I'm just making the world a little bit better. Did I say hi, Patricia? If I didn't, I apologize. You know me, sometimes I read this stuff and get in my own stuff. By a great deal of ardent 12th step work, we sometimes carry the message to so many alcoholics that they place us in a position of trust. This is where I don't know about anybody else, but I have to be careful. This is where I have to. They make us, let us say, the group's chairman. Okay. This is what's going on with my 3 o'clock. If there's anything that needs to be done, it goes on Dion. No. I've been saying no. Dion, can you do this? Nope. I can, but I don't. Because somebody else needs to do the service work. If I consume all the service work, do you know what's going to happen? Those people that come in are just going to let it lie on me. They're going to do that. Okay? Because they're following direction. Okay? Here again, we are presented with the temptation to overmanage things, and sometimes this results in rebuffs and other consequences which are hard to take. But in the longer run, we clearly realize that these are only the growing pains of growing up. And nothing but good can come from them if we turn more and more to the entire 12 steps for the answer. Okay. Now comes the biggest question yet. What about practice of these principles in all of our affairs? Can we love the whole pattern of living as eagerly as we do the small segment of it we discover when we try to help other alcoholics achieve sobriety? Can we bring the same spirit of love and tolerance into our sometimes deranged family lives that we bring to our AA group? Can we have the same kind of confidence and faith in these people who have been infected and sometimes crippled by our own illness that we have in our sponsors? Can we actually carry the AA spirit into our daily work? Can we meet our newly recognized responsibility to the world at large? And can we bring new purpose and devotion to the religion of our choice? Can we bring new joy of living in trying to do something about all these things? Yes, we can. You know me, I'm going to use an example. So nobody had really showed up to the meeting, but see, things still got done. I told you I had a conversation with that gentleman. I was able to help the church stay there, so we had locked the door. I sat down with Pastor Marcia for a little while. We had a great talk. Okay. Al-Anon did great. They had a fantastic meeting. They were a little bit smaller too. But see, it was either spend my time doing something and achieving something or just sitting on my butt. No. So instead, we got some things accomplished. I leave the club feeling accomplished because it isn't about me. Okay? It isn't about me. Al-Anon's working. That means it's worth my fucking time. That means it's worth my time. Even if I'm sitting there waiting for my wife to get out of her meeting. You know how many times she's waiting to get out for me? Yeah, I can wait. You bet. Furthermore, how shall we come to terms with seeming failure or success? Can we now accept and adjust to either without despair or pride? Can we accept poverty, sickness, loneliness, and bereavement with courage and serenity? Can we steadfastly content ourselves with the humbler, yet sometimes more durable satisfactions when the brighter, more glittering achievements are denied us? Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. It's like, and I'm wrapping up here. Thanks, Ingrid. I love you. Sometimes I get a little, I'm just going to admit it. Sometimes I see other people get shit and it pisses me off because I feel like I should be the one getting it. And I'm telling you that so that you don't think you're alone. Okay. Now I'm not going to react to that. I'll react to my own anger anymore. No, because I now see that this person is going through something and that I can be the bigger person. I can be the bigger person for a minute. If it means that this person's day is going to be a little bit better, do you know what happens to me when I make somebody else's day a little bit better? I get it tenfold. I get it back. It comes right back to me. So why would I not give it away? Because the more I give it away, the more I get back. And it's addictive. I love you. Thank you, Ingrid and Patricia, for coming and making this one enjoyable. So, sometimes I'm just going to have to accept that it is the way that it is. And that's just how it is. So, I love y'all. Peace out. And